Yay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, my voice is annoying. Okay. We are doing, this is the second VectorWorks lesson. We're going to talk about some of the basic tools of VectorWorks today. Okay, these are our basic drawing tools, so I'm going to get rid of a bunch of stuff we don't need. Okay, and to do assignment number 1, what you need is you need to go to Blackboard and download VW Assign 1 and 2. Now, VectorWorks Assignment 2, you will not need this file for. I use the same file for both the Scenic and the Line Design class. The first assignment's the same. You guys have a different second assignment. So assignment number 1 is over here. But what we're basically going to do is we're going to talk about drawing, how to basically use the drawing tools. And our basic drawing tools are on the basic palette. In case the palette's missing, you go to Window, Palettes, Basic, and you will get the palettes pop up. Okay? For your first assignment, you need to draw inside the box. If you draw inside the box, it will print out correctly. If you draw somewhere else, you won't, and I'm not teaching you how to print today, how to do any of the fancy print stuff. So draw inside the box. Okay, it says so over here. Okay, so let's look at some of these tools. Well, first I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, remember how to zoom in last time? We used the magnifying glass. The tool looks like a magnifying glass. Okay, and if we hover over something, it will display the tool name. Okay, so the first tool we're going to look at today is our rectangle tool. Okay, rectangle tool, to operate it, click once, starts your rectangle, pull to the side, and click a second time, and it completes your rectangle. Ooh, look, a rectangle. If I want to move it around, I can use my arrow tool or my selection tool, which is you can also get by hitting the X key, and I can grab it and move it around. Ooh, look at that. If I hover over one of the blue dots, those are handles or vortexes, and I can change the shape of my rectangle. Okay. When it's in the mouse looks like a plus sign, it drags it. When it's a diagonal line, like that, diagonal line, it allows you to stretch and change the shape of your rectangle. Very exciting. Okay. If I want to delete it, I'm just going to hit the delete key by my rectangle. The other way I can make a rectangle, let's say I need to make it that's a very specific size. I click on my starting point, start to drag it. Do you see I have a little box that says triangle X and triangle Y? Anyone take math that knows what the triangle X, triangle Y, what that means? Austin.
It's called delta, and it's the change in.
Okay, yes, it's called delta. Very good, because delta is the Greek triangle. And change in is absolutely right. Okay, so this means that the change, if you can look up there, you can see that the change in my X value is 4 foot 6.8 inches. And the change in my Y value is negative 2 feet 7.639 inches. Okay, negative just means it's moving down or to the left, depending on whether it's the X or Y. Okay, if I want this to be a specific size, I can hit the Tab key, and now you'll notice that it's highlighted the delta X value, so I can change that to say 5 feet, and I hit Tab again, I get to my delta Y, and I can do that at, negative 3 feet. Hit Tab one more time, and now when I click, I'm going to have a box that is exactly those dimensions. Okay. So you can have that, drag it around. Okay. And there we have our rectangle. Okay. Oh, I skipped the line. Let's say you need to draw a line. Line is really simple. Click once for the start of your line. Click a second time for the end of your line. Okay? Again, click on my first spot. If I hit Tab, I can type in. Now, this doesn't say delta X, delta Y. It says L and A. L stands for length. So I can say that I would need this line to be 4 feet. And angle is, what angle is the line at? Okay, negative 45 degrees. Yeah, no, I want 47.6 degrees. Okay? And there it is, and there it is. Okay. Yes?
You can do the delta X and Y if you push Tab a third time.
Yeah.
And then they'll show up.
Yeah, there are, by the way, as Austin has already discovered, because he's gone into advanced properties already, you can keep hitting Tab, and Tab will add a whole bunch of other variables. I'm going to go through the beginning variables today. Don't be afraid to experiment. Okay? So yes, on any of these things, if you hit tab, you will get first 1 or 2 variables, then you'll get 3 or 4 more, and you'll eventually, you know, some of them have like 12, 15 variables you can get under them. Okay? Rounded rectangle. Okay, we're going to draw a rounded rectangle first. All a rounded rectangle is, it's a rectangle. And if I zoom in close enough, here we can see that, oh, look, can you guys see that that's not a right angle, it's a curve on the corner? Not very exciting, huh? But let me show you how you can control it a little bit more. In our corner up here, when I select rounded rectangle, I have 3 options up here. Okay, I have my regular rounded rectangle, my rounded rectangle by width and height, which will give me a rotation, and this thing with the wrench and the pencil. Wrench and the pencil means that you have preferences. Okay, I'm going to click on that, and it's going to say, okay, what kind of preferences do you want? Corner diameters. So remember, I had that slight curve on the corner. There was a 1-inch curve in one direction, a 4-inch curve in the other. Say I want to make that kind of more pronounced. I'm going to make it a 12-inch curve in both sides. Okay? And now when I draw my rectangle, we can see the curves a little bit easier, right? The rounded rectangle part. And again, I can hit tab and type in exactly what I want it to be. Okay, and notice I hit tab again, I get more things, and more things, and more things, and more things. Okay? Click, and there I have it. Okay? I want to explore one more control here, and I'm going to tell you that I don't use this one very often, but the other way to do a rounded rectangle is to do this is going to be a rounded rectangle that's rotated. That's by using the second tool up here. Okay. So I'm going to draw one side of my rectangle, and then draw the other, and now look, I can be at a funky angle. That makes sense? So I drew one side at whatever angle I wanted, and then the other side. Make sense? Go ahead and get rid of these. Okay. By the way, these are 2D objects. They are not 3-dimensional objects. We'll talk about 3D objects on another day. Okay, circles. Okay, again, look at circles. We've got a whole lot of options up here. Okay, it's set to the first one, which is my favorite, the circle by radius. Click. Set your radius of the circle, and there you go. Okay. You can also do a circle by diameter. Okay, which is where you draw. You guys know what diameter is the whole way across the circle. The next one I find really, really useful. Circle by 3 points. So let's say for whatever reason I want a circle that touches here, here, and here. Okay? If I have 3 points, it can define a circle. So if I need to build a circle that's a certain size, I can do that. The circle from 3 lines is a similar thing. Circle by point. So these are all things you can play with. Okay? And I'm not going to show you every little variation on the tool today because I only have 15 minutes left. Okay? Ellipse tool. Okay? Ellipse is a squished circle. 2 ways is the box. You draw the box, the ellipse fits inside of it. Or the height and width, which is kind of like the rotated rectangle. Okay. Clear some of this stuff out here for a moment. That up there, move that up there. Okay. The next 2 tools I want to look at are very similar. One is called the polyline tool, and that's this first one. And the second is called the polygon tool. Okay? For purposes of this class, the polyline tool is evil. It is not your friend. It will make you miserable. It will cause more trouble than it will fix. Everyone hear that? Yes. Okay. It is not that it is a totally useless tool. It is just that in this class, I find people get into more trouble with it. And anything you really need to do, you can get the polygon tool to do, and you'll be much happier. Okay? So I'm just going to say, trust me, if you want to play with the polygon tool, or the polyline tool, I mean, for weeks and master it, be my guest. Okay, polygon tool. Okay, polygon tool allows you to draw a polygon. And the only rule with it is when you get done, go back close to where it started and click, and then it will click closed. Or, I didn't do it, I didn't close enough. There you go. Okay, and the cool thing is I have this really cool funky shape. If I double click on it, all of these nodes can be edited. So I didn't get it quite right, I can edit it. Okay? Very, very cool. Okay? And I just click off of it, and I have my edited polygon tool. Okay? The next thing is our regular polygon tool. This one, you got to come up here. It says number of sides. How many sides do you want to build a polygon? Give me a number.
17.
12 was the most interesting number I heard first. So I type in 12 here. And I come down here, and I will draw a regular polygon. Now, what's it mean if it's regular? All the sides and angles are the same. Okay? So I can draw a regular 12-sided polygon very easily. Okay? Now, I could do that with my polygon tool. I just had to be really careful and type in all my measurements and angles. I don't have to know what they all are. Okay? And this will do any size you want. 7. Okay. And it will calculate. That's what's so great about the computer, is that you don't have to do this math. It will do it for you. Okay? The next tool I want to look at is our rotate tool. Okay? Before you can use your rotate tool, however, you have to select a tool. Yes, if you hold down, I think it's Option and then click on an object, you can select it once you're in the tool. But easy way, select the item you want to affect. Click your rotate tool. Click anywhere you want on the page. That becomes your center point. Click anywhere else, that becomes your reference line. And now as you rotate the line, look, as I'm rotating, it rotates my image. So I can get this pointing any way I want. Cool? And it has two modes. It has the rotate and the rotate and duplicate method. Okay, I'm going to click here, click my reference line, and now as I rotate, I get a second one. Or a third. Or a fourth. I could do this all day and have fun. Okay, yeah, I have no life. I heard that. Okay, next to the rotate tool, we have the mirror tool. Okay, it's got the two triangles pointing at each other. Okay, again, mirror has two modes. One is, the first mode is you draw a line. Oops, I gotta select an object first. Select an object, mirror tool. Okay, I draw a line, and it mirrors my object across the line. Okay? Flips it. Okay? Now I can also have my mirror and duplicate tool. And here you're going to see, because it's mirror and duplicate, I'm going to just do this at a funky angle. I get two of them. Okay? And I get a third one. Whoops. And I get a fourth one. Okay? Okay. Delete. Okay? The last tool I want to look at today is our text tool. Okay? It looks like the T. Click on it. Type. My name is Chris Bolt. This allows me to type. This is a really important tool for your homework, for your VectorWorks Assignment 1, which is due a week from Wednesday, maybe? Yes, a week from Wednesday. So not this Wednesday, next week. Okay? And by the way, just to remind you, I have my office hours in the Idea Lab on Wednesdays, so you can come get help this Wednesday or next Wednesday, or both. But you need to make sure you have your name on it. Okay, so I've put my name on this. Okay, let me take a moment to talk about the assignment. Your assignment for next Wednesday, VectorWorks Assignment 1, this is in your syllabus, is to draw a picture. I don't care what the picture's of. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and draw a picture really quickly. Yes, you can do a black lightsaber. Okay. Now, notice my circle suddenly looks like it got cut off. Okay. It didn't actually. This is because my triangle is on top of my circle. So if I want, let's say I need my triangle my triangle below my circle, my triangle selected. I go to modify and send, so I can send my triangle to the back. And now my circle's on top of it. Okay? However, I actually want my triangle on top because I'm building an ice cream cone. So send to front. I don't know.
What's your favorite flavor?
Mint chocolate chip.
Ick.
Oh.
What?
Peaceful berries, weird.
What?
Okay? And let's see. I'm trying to do an ice cream cone, so it needs to have because it's a waffle cone. So I'm going to draw some lines on here.
You're gonna draw a waffle.
I'm going to draw a waffle.
It's vanilla.
Okay. Okay. Oh, wait. And there's a puddle down below it because it's me eating and I'm messy. Okay. And there's the puddle down below it. And what else do I need? I need a gigantic square sun in the sky because I live on Mars.
The sun is square on Mars.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the sun is the same
Black
shape no
lights.
matter what you look at it from.
Look, you want a black lifesavers. I
I don't
want.
want black lightsabers. No.
We do.
What about a black fire? We can make a black lightsaber.
Everybody
with
does.
anti-magic.
Okay, how about this? It's a sign in the corner that says ice cream. Okay, and there is a picture. Not today. Sorry.
I'll figure it out.
You might. You can figure it out. You can do things in color in this program. However, the printer in the Idea Lab is black and white. Okay. So
Comes in with a rainbow.
your picture does not have to be any more complicated than what I just did. I want to see you using a couple of tools. Okay?
So I just can't draw a square.
No.
It's a house.
Make a house out of
Make a
it.
house? Okay.
Okay?
You do a square, and then you do a square
I'm
with
going
four
to
little
make
squares, and
my
then a
glass
square, and it's...
Okay. So now that we've got our image on here, there are a couple things I want to show you how to do. This is a computer program. The rule with computer program, how many of you are taking a computer class here? Save frequently, yes. I like the word save early, save often. So I need to save this. Okay, file, save. Okay, and you can name it. In the Idea Lab, do not save your things to the hard drive in there overnight. You can save it there like for a little bit, but every night at midnight it erases everything that's not supposed to be on it. Okay? So, why didn't that work? File,
Email it to yourself.
save as. Okay? Yes, put it on a USB drive. Now, my other advice with USB drive. USB drives are not usually fast enough to keep up with VectorWorks. So if you have your file on a USB drive, copy it to the desktop, do your work, and then copy it back to the USB drive. Does that make sense? Does everyone get that?
Yes.
Okay, this first assignment, your file's not that big. It'll be fine. Okay, so you can name your file. I'm going to name mine Bolts Assignment 1. By the way, if any of you have not, if you guys have not played with Dropbox, it's another great place to store your files because it's storing it on the cloud and it's kind of awesome. Okay. Okay. Save it. Okay. And now, how do you print your file? Okay. In the Idea Lab, you're allowed to print up to 5 pages per day for free.
Yay!
Isn't that awesome? Okay. What does the library charge you? Like 15 cents a page, isn't it? 10. Still. Enough for it to be okay. Okay, so to print, file, come down to print, okay, and print. This file is pre-set up for an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. It will print correctly so long as you draw within the box. If you draw somewhere else, it will not print your drawing because it's going to print what's in the box. Because today I'm not teaching you how to print. Okay, that's a lesson. That's the next VectorWorks lesson. Okay, and then print. If you are in the Idea Lab for some reason, you refuse to print it out in there because like you've done the file in color because you're Jacob and you figured it out, but you don't know, but there's not a color printer in there, you can, in the Idea Lab, click the PDF button and it will save as a PDF and then you can take it home and print it at home. Okay? That is a unique feature to the Mac. Okay, eventually you will have to export a VectorWorks file to a PDF. It is built into VectorWorks, but it's built in someplace else. And I'm not going to show you that today because that's part of printing. It's part of the in-depth printing. Okay? Woohoo, I got through that stuff pretty quickly. Okay? Can you guys, and by the way, you are free to use any of these other drawing tools that you want. Just because I didn't show you the double line tool doesn't mean you can't use it. You just have to figure out how to use it on your own. Okay? Or the spiral tool. Okay, I'll show you the spiral tool because it's just cool. I have never found a real world purpose for the spiral tool except for showing it in class. No, it doesn't. Oops.
God bless some
Spiral.
Making those go with
Okay, and let's zoom in on the spiral tool so you can see, oh look, it's a spiral.
Oh, you use that for gobos.
Yeah, not really. I have actually found this to be one of the least useful tools. I'm sure it has a purpose in some industry, just not in theater.
I'm going to figure out why.
Okay, but you got to play with the preferences on this to get it to be useful. Okay? Yeah. I don't see this particularly useful, but there it is. It's cool. Okay? Play with tools. Is there anyone who's thinking, wow, I can't draw whatever it is I want to draw? I mean, honestly, between the line and the polygon tool, you should be able to draw anything. Okay? Yes, we do not. Okay, you are allowed to do something really freaking cool, and I've had people do like things that I wanted to take home and frame, and you're allowed to do an ice cream cone. Okay? Okay, but yes, the idea is that you show me you know how to use some of these tools. Sure. Okay, or the Millennium Falcon, or the Millennium Falcon docking with the Enterprise. That's fine.
Oh, wow. Stuff will just start exploding out in the middle of nowhere. Let's do it!
Okay, well, only if the TARDIS is landing there. Okay. Any questions?
The TARDIS will land there because Captain Picard's with the Doctor at the time.
Any questions on assignment number 1? It is due not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. Also remember that a week from today, what are we doing in class? We're not, because there's no school a week from today.
It scared me for like a second. And I was like, oh yeah.
Okay. Yes, we're done.